How did you decide to start Solar Guitars? Love you, man. So not sure if you guys know this, but back in 2010, 2011, before I even knew I would create a guitar brand, I was already designing my own guitars and trying to make the most metal-looking, metal-sounding guitars on the planet. And back then I had the ambition to bring these designs with me to a big guitar company brand to see if they would be interested in doing them or, you know, manufacture them. Okay, that's the word. I had talks with ESP, I had talks with Ibanez, and also Washburn guitars. And before the meetings with Ibanez and ESP, I was sort of dead certain that they just wanted to have me as an artist. I mean, they're insanely big brands with already established guitar models. I mean, why would they just bring in this guy from the internet? Of course, I knew this before having the meetings with Ibanez and ESP. I mean, I have realistic expectations, but I also just wanted to hear what they could offer me, you know, at that point. But at the same time, I was also talking to Washburn guitars. I was already working with Randall amplifiers, designing my signature Satan amplifier. And talking to Washburn makes sense because Randall and Washburn are under the same umbrella, right? Makes sense. So I talked to Washburn, and at the time, they weren't really strong on the electric guitar department. They basically had Nuno Betancourt guitars, and then the rest was just basically acoustic guitars. So I had a meeting with them, and they were just about to start releasing their new Parallax series of guitars, which was an attempt to bring Washburn back into the electric guitar market. And at the time, Washburn were a little bit of an underdog in the business, and they were way more open to actually including my designs in the lineup. So that's where we started the Washburn Solar, and this right here, I come prepared, you guys, I come prepared. And this is the absolute first made one, made in the Washburn USA custom shop, finished by Chewy, you know, who did a lot of the old Dimebag models back in the day. He also later did that V-Bolt tribute up there that I asked for. Me and Washburn noticed that people really wanted to get a hold of these guitars. But for me, it was really frustrating because even though people could get them in some markets, there were just some that just, you know, they couldn't get a hold of Washburn Solar in the traditional way, you know, through a store or through a distributor or anything like that. You know, everything was just slowed down by, you know, bureaucratic ways to manage a guitar company. I mean, the old traditional guitar business is built up by partnerships and, you know, with distributors and dealers, and this whole line of people that you need to work with. And this whole line of people that you need to work with consumes so much time and effort that from having an idea to actually having guitars in stores would almost be 1.5 and up to 2 years of waiting. And I was doing YouTube at the time, and you know how people on YouTube are. They have the attention span of a 5-year-old. No one wants to wait for a guitar that long. It doesn't make any sense. Also, I just wanted to do so much more with the guitars, you know, so many more models and more features and shit like that. But, you know, there was just so many things holding us back. So in 2015, I decided to end my contract with Washburn Guitars. And one of the guys that I worked with, Greg, had already left. And I gave him a phone call and I said, like, hey, man, I have all these cool designs. Why don't we just make a direct-to-consumer brand and, you know, make it on our terms? We want to cater to consumers first, and then, you know, in the markets where we can't really handle that, we have distributors. So it's a little bit reversed. I want to make a metal guitar for the metal player. No bullshit. That was the plan. So we started to work on the Solar Guitars brand in 2016, deciding, you know, locations, make a website, and product management. We made a sample order of about 60 models, maybe. We brought them all to my con. I'm gonna see if I can find the picture. It's kind of funny. Where we checked them and made notes, changes, etc. And then we decided to place our first order, and I think it was of 300 guitars. And all of this setting up the brand absolutely takes a lot of time and a lot of effort just to set everything up. I think it took like maybe a year and a half, you know, from idea to actually launching. But eventually, in November of 2017, we launched the brand. We had 300 guitars in stock, ready to be shipped, and the rest is history. Where's the applaud thingy? Where it says, do I have to get one of those? Neon signs where it says applause. I think we sold out most of the guitars in November, December, and then we just continued on. There was definitely a big risk in starting a company like this. I remember when I talked to Louise back when I was ending my Washburn contract, and I let her know about my plans, that she was very, very nervous. This was a lot of money for us and a very big gamble. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta take a risk. And I sort of already knew that people wanted these type of guitars. So it wasn't, you know, I was pretty certain that at least one would buy a guitar. But not that we would sell out the whole 300 guitars so fast. And that we're able to do this still to this day, even, you know, going through a pandemic and all. Dude, I gotta pinch my arm, you know, because it's just, fuck, man. So there you go. That's how we started Solar Guitars, and I'm obviously incredibly proud and happy to see where we are today, all thanks to, you know, the new, bigger Solar Guitars team. In the beginning, we were only 2, with a little bit of help. Now we're plenty of people. You know, it's about working with the right type of people, the most passionate people with the heart at the right place. You know, no bullshit, just guitars. Holy shit, what a slogan!